Having an Amazon business that is run by VAs is the dream. But there's one big mistake that a lot of people do is having sourcing, so finding profitable inventory being the first thing that they actually try to hire a VA for. However, I believe that there's a ton of other things that you should actually outsource before so you can have more time for actually doing one thing that is one of the most important things for Amazon business, which is actually finding profitable inventory. Sourcing should be one of the last things that you actually outsource to a VA because your ability to source profitable products is one of the most important things for your Amazon business. So it's something that is a little bit harder to outsource. In today's video, I'm going to give you a few things that you should actually think to outsource to a VA before you even think about sourcing. Before you even think about outsourcing, you know. So yeah. So if you do not know me, my name is Mangunza. I release daily videos about selling on Amazon right here on YouTube. So if you are new, like this video and subscribe so you get recommended more videos. All right. So first of all, and this is not going to be something that you need to outsource to VAs, but when I talked a little bit about sourcing, it made me think about that. The first thing that you should actually outsource is before sourcing is prepping. Get a prep center. It's going to free up a ton of time for you. It's really going to free up a ton of time. You may not realize it, but like at the end of the day, this is one thing that I actually realized when I actually started outsourcing my prep to a prep center. You're going to save so much time that you're going to have a ton of time to source, and you're going to get way better at sourcing. So prepping takes a lot of time, and before you even think about hiring a VA, get a prep center, okay, and start to learn how to work with a prep center. Yes, it's a little bit harder. It's not as easy to scale as when you prep yourself, but you're going to get way better at sourcing because of the free time that you're going to get, right? But let's forget about that. Let's dive straight into what you should outsource to your VA. And this first thing is going to be something that is going to help you a lot. And by the way, before we even start getting into those things, I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of these things that I haven't even outsourced myself just yet and that I should actually do, right? And or some stuff that I actually outsourced in part, okay? But I think that really outsourcing these things is going to free up a lot of time that you can actually put into sourcing, which is more important, right? So the first thing is, and as I said, it's going to be super helpful if you have other activities that are different, like other activities, if Amazon is not the only thing that you do, but it's going to be handling your email inbox and your calendar, okay? Because just handling your email inbox, for example, for me, like I'm not someone that actually looks at, like if my VAs are not looking at my emails, like you'll see on my personal email, the email that I don't use for everything that is personal, like I have like probably, I'm going to show you my Gmail app. Let me try to find it, and you're going to see the amount of emails that I have that are unread. Okay, because like I'm just so bad with emails and I cannot find it. But you can just you can even see it with text message. Like I don't know if you can see how many text message I have. Um, yeah, yeah, that's something that I'm really bad at, and it's something that takes a lot of time. So the first thing that I think you should actually outsource is your email inbox and your calendar, especially if you do other things and you up on calls a lot. Having your VAs actually manage that is going to save a ton of time, and it's going to remove a lot of stress from your life. So my calendar is not something that I have outsourced yet, but my email in big part is outsourced to my VAs, right? So it makes just life way easier, and this is one less thing that you need to think about, and you can focus more of your time on your Amazon business and on sourcing. And of course, if the only thing that you do is just Amazon, of course it's a little bit different. Yes, you can still take care of your calendar yourself because your calendar is not going to be that full, except if you have calls that are planned with suppliers and all that stuff, which is, you know, communication with suppliers, like the first contact with suppliers, is something, if you do wholesale, that can be outsourced to VAs. But we'll talk a little bit more about that when I'll have more experience myself with wholesale. And by the way, you're going to get a new video on wholesale on how things are going pretty soon for me, all right? So the second thing, and it's going to be really specific if you do retail arbitrage, because with online arbitrage, you do not necessarily need that too much. But if you do retail arbitrage, Putting your inventory documentation together in an orderly fashion is something that you can outsource, and that I outsourced actually when I was doing retail arbitrage to a VA, right? So having one place where you have all your receipts and every single piece of inventory that you have itemized with the receipts so you can find them fast is something that you should actually have, because if you have, and we'll talk about account health in a few, if you have a complaint, IP complaint, an authentic complaint, you can find this stuff fast and submit it, so submit it as fast as possible so your account is not impacted, right? So having your inventory documentation in order is something that you can actually outsource to your VAs. And if you want to dive deeper into that and how I actually did it, this is something that we talk about in my coaching session. So just book a call with me or wait for the next coaching group to actually open, but you will need to wait for that specific session, you know? So yeah, right? The third thing that you can outsource to a VA before outsourcing is actually it's shipment reconciliation. So you know that sometimes Amazon lose your shipments, not lose your shipments, but lose some inventory. Like you have some inventory missing that do not get in like that, just Amazon loves, right? So making sure that you receive all the stuff and like making actually sending documentation so you get reimbursed for the stuff that is missing is a big thing that you can actually outsource, right? And this is something that, if I'm being 100% honest, that I haven't outsourced to a VA myself. But looking at how easy it is to do this with Boxem, I might outsource it to a VA. Right now, it's my girl that is doing it because I'm not dealing with anything that is account health myself. So it's not really outsourcing, but like this is not something that I do myself, but it's something that we should probably outsource to a VA, right? And that we are going to do soon, because it's not that it takes a lot of time, but if you just know that this is done, it's easier, right? The fourth thing, and it's something that might take a lot of time, and that is taking a lot of, most of, a lot of these things are not necessarily things that take a lot of time, but they are things that take a lot of mental space, right? And so one of those is the communication with your prep center, because there's always some small things that your prep center is asking, and giving clear directive on how to answer to all these things to a VA might save you a lot of time and save you a lot of brain power, so you can think about some other stuff, right? Because your prep center might ask you what to do with some inventory, but you need to get a VA that you can actually trust to do this, right? And so it's something that is a little bit further down the line that you can outsource when you have a VA that is working, that has been working with you for a little bit of time, that knows how you work. And so your prep center, and by the way, your prep center will know how you work as well, but you always need somebody to communicate with your prep center. And that is something that you can outsource. This is something that I'm currently working on outsourcing, that I'm currently working on training VAs to do. So yeah, but this is something that personally takes a lot of brain power from me, and so if I can actually outsource this to a VA, it's going to save a lot of time. The last thing, as I said, that you can outsource is account health. So account health, handling complaints, all that stuff. Sometimes you need to submit the documentation a lot of time, and people always give up after the second, the third time. If you actually have a VA that you train on how to do this, that is going to be taken care of all the time. This is something that I don't have as of right now, and we are still doing it ourselves. And when I say ourselves, it's me and my girl. But yeah, like outsourcing account health can save you a ton of time. All right, so hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, leave a like, do all that YouTube stuff, and I'll see you tomorrow for a new video. Thank you for watching.